For 130 years, a ball of light has materialized on an Arkansas railroad track, and nobody's figured out what it is. And I mean nobody, not railroad engineers, not physicists, not the Arkansas State Police who have chased it more than once. The Gurdon Light, named after the small town where it appears, has been documented since the 1890s, recurring with enough consistency that we can't dismiss it as folklore. This isn't a one-off sighting, this is a pattern. Exhibit 1, the original sightings date back to around 1891 when railroad workers reported a ghostly orb hovering near the tracks outside Gurdon. They described it as roughly the size of a man's head, glowing white or pale yellow, moving horizontally along the rail line before vanishing. The workers didn't panic, they documented it. Repeatedly. That's the first thread. Exhibit 2, in the 1950s, the sightings intensified. A conductor named W.C. Parham reported seeing the light multiple times over several weeks. Other crew members corroborated his account. The light appeared to move intelligently, it didn't drift randomly. It seemed to follow the tracks, sometimes approaching the train before retreating. No equipment malfunction, no reflections, no easy explanation. Exhibit 3, and this is where it gets interesting, the light's behavior suggests some kind of awareness. Witnesses reported that when they approached it, the light would move away. When they stopped, it sometimes stopped too. One investigator in the 1970s attempted to photograph it with a camera. The moment he raised the camera, the light vanished. Coincidence? Maybe, but note the pattern. Exhibit 4, modern sightings. The light hasn't gone away. In the 1990s and 2000s, paranormal investigators and curiosity seekers made pilgrimages to Gurdon. Some captured it on video, grainy admittedly, but consistent with decades of eyewitness descriptions. A luminous sphere hovering near the tracks, defying conventional physics. So what is it? The skeptical answer, ball lightning. It's a real phenomenon, rare, poorly understood, but documented by meteorologists. Ball lightning manifests as a glowing sphere, moves unpredictably, and vanishes suddenly. It's attracted to electrical conductors like, wait for it, railroad tracks. The theory fits. But there's a problem. Ball lightning occurs during thunderstorms, typically after lightning strikes. The Gurdon Light has appeared on clear nights. Multiple witnesses reported seeing it during fair weather when atmospheric conditions don't support ball lightning formation. The skeptical answer doesn't quite close the loop. Another theory, swamp gas. Methane from decomposing organic matter can ignite spontaneously and create a glowing effect. Gurdon sits in a region with wetlands. Plausible, except swamp gas burns, it doesn't hover. It doesn't move with apparent intention. It dissipates quickly, not lasting long enough for multiple witnesses to observe it in detail. Close, but incomplete. The paranormal crowd offers a different angle. The light's a ghost. Supposedly, a railroad worker was struck and killed near those tracks decades ago. His spirit, the theory goes, manifests as this orb. It's drawn to the place of his death, bound to the railroad that ended his life. Folklore? Sure. But it's the narrative that local residents have carried for generations. Here's what we know for certain, something's there. Dozens of credible witnesses, railroad employees, police officers, investigators have reported it. The sightings span 130 years. The descriptions are consistent. The behavior is anomalous. Whether it's a natural phenomenon we don't fully understand or something stranger, the evidence demands an explanation. What fascinates me most is what the Gurdon Light tells us about the limits of our knowledge. We live in a world where every corner's been mapped, every phenomenon explained or relegated to pseudoscience. Yet here on a railroad track in rural Arkansas, something persists, something we can't quite pin down. That gap, that space between observation and explanation, that's where the real mystery lies. The Gurdon Light remains unsolved. No definitive answer, no closure. Just a recurring phenomenon that refuses to fit neatly into any single explanation, ball lightning, swamp gas, or spectral energy. It's a reminder that the world still holds mysteries, documented and real, waiting for the right investigator to ask the right question. Subscribe, because every week, there's a new unexplained case waiting to be investigated, and you won't want to miss the ones that challenge everything we think we know. Subscribe, because every week, there's a new unexplained case waiting to be investigated, and you won't want to miss the ones that challenge everything we think we know.